G'day, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at OpTic versus Boom on Breeze in overtime. Specifically, we're going to be looking at OpTic's attacking rounds because I have a lot of question marks. We also have a special guest here today. We have Zaya, my puppy dog. She's hiding her head, but she's here to help with our analysis. She's actually a Radiant Valorant player herself. So yeah, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so here we are at the start of overtime. We have OpTic looking toward mid A split. We've got 4 players here in mid and 1 player here in cave. Yay, really just stopping any listening for any early aggression out of cave here and slowly start moving into position, but he's not going to be peeking this angle, I don't think. And OpTic's going to be trying moving towards A here. In mid, the first goal of what they do is they want to orb and molly, or FNS orbs and mollies wood doors, and they try and get Victor here into a nice little angle that he can push out through doors from eventually. And he's also watching the early mid flank or any mid aggression that comes out of Boom. And so OpTic now moves in towards cave, and they get ready to just do a typical A site exec. The Viper orb comes down. We get a great counter knife from Flipsider. It doesn't break the wall, but it prevents this drone from going any further. The drone gets destroyed by the counter knife, and we don't get any flashes out from OpTic here.
It's a bit earlier, but now with the walls coming up,
that lasts for 8 seconds, so they still have no util to use. And you can see Tibaltal has dropped his Viper orb. He sent out a molly into cave to try and slow it up a little bit. I don't think it quite landed, but then he's going to be able to turn his wall back up with the timing, and he's going to get a great timing on the wall here. As soon as he hears that flash come out, wall comes up, and OpTic is completely split by this wall. So we have Victor, who's just starting to come through wood doors right now. And then Yay and Finesse are behind this wall of Tibalta's, this defensive Viper wall, split apart from their teammates. And they're all moving towards this orange sort of stairs bridge push. But Finesse and Yay are still behind this wall. And that's going to pay dividends for Tibaltal, because what happens is he gets the Sova Dart to come through as well. And the wall comes down by the KO knife. He still had plenty of fuel. It's all a little bit lucky, but he doesn't get cleared, remember. OpTic doesn't attempt to clear this at all at this point. Because of the KO knife, his wall comes down. He gets a great timing on Finesse. He decides to swing around. He kills Marv. And now he's got backside. He's got Famous coming through halls. He says, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to swing. Does get a bit overheaty here, but hits both of them. Now this is a pretty good idea from OpTic, because what happens is if we watch the minimap, Victor gets himself up onto stairs, and he gets both here. He gets 1, 2. All of a sudden, this looks like a pretty good position. Spike is down. They're trying to fight this together. If they had just cleared this, it would have been fine. But Tibaltal gets this really nice timing. And nobody is watching for it. And then you see the trade unable to come through. So it's just these little things that kept happening in these OpTic rounds where they're not playing to that really driven level. As soon as Finesse died here, they should all be looking this way, or at least more players should be looking this way, or fighting this before they're fighting backside. You know, Yay shouldn't be fighting the bridge or orange players from this point of sight. He should be fighting this point and gaining control of this area before they're fighting the back of sight. Okay, so here we come into the next attacking round for OpTic. It's 13-13. And they're going to be looking at doing a similar thing, but they're going to change it up a little bit this round. They're going to flood through wood doors as a team more together rather than leaving Victor there to come in late. And so they use the same util to get that control of wood doors, and they're going to send this drone up mid to clear out any early aggression rather than Victor sitting there waiting for it, right? So that's going to allow them to push through wood doors without getting flanked like straight away. They also fake out with the Viper wall after sending up the drone up toward B. Because if you think about the way this is working, you have a Sova drone that's come out to check out B. It's actually spotted Famous here. And you have a Viper wall coming across here. This looks like a B split because you've also orbed this off. It looks like you're covering your back here and you're trying. So they're trying to go for sell a little bit of a fake. And, you know, to their credit, it works out because Blaze King's going to come sit top of nest, but he's going to drone out and counter drone. And he's going to see they're actually not up mid at all. Right. And here they are coming into B. And so Marv and Victor push this in together.
They have got so much space.
And they get the one under bridge, but then they split. And this is the first mistake. So Marv walks down in front of yellow here, and Victor goes on top of stairs and goes this way. And this allows Tebatol to be that little absolute rat anchor that he is. And he gets to isolate both of them. Kills Victor, he kills Marv, and Spike's down. All of a sudden, it's 4v3. Spike's down at the back of site. It's a 1v1 on site. Ye's back down in cave, and Finesse is all the way on the other side of mid. So here we go. The rotations start coming in. Everyone starts flooding to this side of the map, and Tebatol's just got to stall. He's just got to stall for time. He's just sending out mollies. He's playing for his life. And now, here we have. This is where the fight begins. Because we've got... Oops. Here's where the fight begins. Because we've got 2 players on bridge. We've got 1 player on orange. And Berserks is just still wary of that nest lurk, you know, because Finesse could have come up this way. It's definitely a possibility, but Finesse has resumed with his team. We've got wood doors and 1 on each pyramid.
Why not?
Okay.
Wants to make it the 3rd.
So I forgot to put my bloody map away, so I have to re-record this a little bit. So sorry if there was a little bit of a jump. But so Tebatol's playing for his life. All the players are rotating over. And here's where the fight really begins. Because Finesse has made his way up to wood doors. And then we have 1 player on top of bridge, 1 player below bridge. Berserk is worried about the flank through nest, rightfully so, because instead of coming through wood doors, Finesse very well could have gone up toward nest. And then we have our 2 players on site, Crashies and Ye. Ye is going to come around to this pyramid here. But this should be towards Boom's advantage. Spike is down. OpTic's out of position. Still a minute left to work with, but this is a very easy angle to defend if you can get yourself into holes, which I think they're too slow to do.
But he has done a
You
significant
can see Tebatol, he sees the arm there, so he swings it. He gets half his health taken away. And this is where Boom starts to crumble, because Crashies has made his way all the way up to yellow in this very aggressive position. And he's going to get 1. And Finesse gets the second one here. Finesse could have had both because they were both exposed to this angle, and there's no one to trade here. Berserk, too slow on it. And then he drops down. Gets picked up by Ye. And Blaze King just gets picked up by Crashies there.
Salvaging the situation, salvaging the round.
So that should have been another round lost for OpTic. Spike was all the way in the back of sight. Boom had the numbers advantage, and Boom just crumbled the bag. They didn't realize that they needed to play in halls and be able to watch that spike. And we're going to move on to the next round now. Okay, so in this round, we see OpTic, switch it up. They're towards the B side. They're going to look at going toward B and until they don't. And
we're 10 seconds in already. The pace.
Here we go. The broadcaster was late to the round, but nothing really happens in the first 10 seconds except Marv gets himself up into elbow in this great position. And there's no contest here. They're going to get the drone over the top that's going to clear out Nest. And so Marv's going to be able to follow that in if he wants to, but he's just going to sit there and hold that position.
Passive trademark position here from Ye, as the rest of OpTic have taken mid. But do they know?
And then look at this. Look at where Finesse is sitting. He was up here about 10 seconds ago, and he's rotated down here. And I think what he's trying to do is play contact off the trip, which I think is fine, right? If you're going to do that, do that. But then we have these two players who go, the last 2 rounds have been mid-A splits. They're not going toward A right now. Let's push out. Let's see how much space we can take. And we're going to get a great little off angle held right here. And they don't, very wisely, don't go past the trip. Okay, so just keep your eye on that.
To be here.
While, you know, not much is happening mid or B. Nothing at all. Flipside is going to go back up to Halls. And now Finesse decides to check this angle. They're going, nothing much is happening on B over here. Like, we've given up elbow control already. But Finesse hasn't been watching this. They have no intel on how far out of A caves Boom could have come. And Boom played this really, really well. Taboltal again in this amazing position with the trip in his face.
Anywhere near where Tebatol is. FNS doesn't realize they're this deep. He's just going to walk straight into
it. He just holds.
The patience.
He gets 2.
Why not? Easy.
And so now it's 3v5. It's 3v5. Boom has so much map control. They have so much map control, right? They have all of Halls. They don't have A, right? But they've only just left A, so they know they can't be there yet. So they know if they're going A, they have to go wood doors. So they're going through mid. And they have all of B, which means they have Nest. So they pretty much have all of this. And OpTic is in this little part of the map. They got to try and come through.
One after the other to model this guy.
Victor dashes.
He's displaying it all. The mechanical prowess.
And Flip, he peeks out of bridge. He can't get the kill.
And patience as well.
And he does the right thing. He just chills. He goes back into Hall. I'm going to maintain Hall control, make sure that the third person isn't sneaking up through Halls. Voltal gets a little bit aggressive here. Hasn't seen anyone yet, though. And that's the start of it. That's the start of the mistake. He's walking onto site effectively in a 1v2. Right? He's effectively given them a 1v2 because he doesn't know where Victor is. Victor could swing him from yellow at any point. Victor could swing him from this pyramid at any point. And he should have killed Crashies. Crashies should be dead. But Crashies hits an insane flick on him. So you make of that what you make of that.
14-14 is the round score, but
if I was to Boltal here, I would go put myself in this corner. I would be just sitting here because look where my team is. I still have 2 on B, 1 in spawn, and there's 1 in halls. I'm going into site alone right now. And they know he's there because he just killed 2 people here in lobby. So they know he's going to be pushing up cave. They're going to be wary of it. He's probably thinking I have a great timing here. Halls has just opened. But the flash didn't hit him. And as much as Taboltal missed, Flip actually Flip actually is the real loser here.
Can OpTic
The fact that he
salvage this in a
didn't
similar
trade
way?
that is ridiculous. And then they
Closed, opened. No
They
way. That way.
closed the door
It's
again.
absolute-
But then Victor, Lord Victor, I don't know how he whiffed this.
Believe
He ends up
everything
only
that's on
getting
the
one
side.
here.
Berserk, no, it's a trade. Oh, the whiff from Victor.
And now it's a 2v3. 2v3 still. 2v3 still.
Grab two, surely there. Just 2 players left for OpTic. And it is a sideline lockdown. Crashes is a
And
maniac
Crashes just
like
comes
this.
up huge and just
Yeah,
kills
not even
3 in a
ready to
row.
collect the kills if he fell, but it doesn't matter
Like
because
how are
4
they
in the round.
winning
And
these
OpTic,
rounds?
Again, a map point.
It's just
Brand, it's another heartbreaker. Tebatol does so
Boom should have won this game 3 rounds ago. But
well
they just keep
to set
fumbling
them
the
up
bag.
into a
I
fight.
think we get the
Ducking behind
replay.
corner, and yet
Crashes here.
They just can't convert even then. What an insane round
Gets
by
that
Crashes,
one,
though.
which is insane. And then he goes
Jump kill
1,
there.
peeks back, peeks
Finishing
back.
these guys off. Ducking behind the corner every time.
Okay, so here we have round 31. Game is 15 apiece. All I have written down here in my notes is question mark.
But Boom and specifically.
So
Tebatol
we're just going to let this one play out. We have the same thing happen. We have the mid-A split. They've gone for this every round as the 3rd time out of 4 attacking rounds in overtime. They've gone for this kind of play. They send 3 through mid. Unfortunately for Victor,
Loading the ammunition.
he's just going to get
Brutus Vipers.
spammed. And that's what happens when you do the same thing over and over.
It's too much damage. I mean, Victor just walked into the snake bite. He was vulnerable up.
This is one of the first times that FNS has used his orb like that as well.
And look at this. Boom have been so aggressive with their pushes out. They've already pushed out all the way into spawn. So there's 2 mid and 2 on site for OpTic. And this trip is so forward. Like, it's not down here where you would expect it. And so these guys aren't going to get caught out early or anything like that. OpTic's just going to walk onto site. Boom's giving it to them, which I think is absolutely fine in this scenario. Tebatol was the only one on A site. So they're playing retake A. Perfect. I'm going to give it to them. And now just keep your eye on Tebatol because he just sits here. He just sits here holding this angle.
Fast to take this space now.
Because what needs to happen here is this is perfect util coordination. The Sova drone baits FNR's crosshair. I don't know if you saw, Famous actually sees Marved here. So he comes around this corner. I'm not sure if he actually realizes, but he sees Marv's gun there. That one's kind of hard to see, but then it pokes out for a little bit longer. But they know that Finesse is here, or they suspect he's there at least. They bait him out with the drone. Famous swings it. He gets traded. But look at our boy. Tebatol, MVP of this game, just still sitting there. Not walking in, realized and has learned from his mistakes from last. I'm sure they probably spoke about it. The fact that he walked in potentially lost them that round. And so he just sits there. He just sits there. He waits for the rest of his team to clear out this mid. The mid control. And eventually they do. And he still just sits there and sits there. And they're still clearing out mid. And Ye walks into his crosshair. And Ye gets punished. And so, I mean, as Ye, when you're down in numbers, you need to try and make a play. So he went hunting for a pick, and Ye did the right thing. But, you know, when you do the right thing down on numbers, it's not always guaranteed to pay off. And that's why you should always win when you have the numbers advantage, because Tebatol just sat there. He did the right thing. He did the right thing. He just held that angle. And now it's a 4v1 because they clear out Marved in mid. I would have liked to see Flipsider actually swing up here to help with the Marv, because if he swung at the right time, he just shoots Marv in the back. And then he could have continued on his push down here. But then
the Boom players are dealing with it.
All the players flood site. Tebetol gets a little bit... Actually, no, he doesn't. He doesn't get over aggressive at all. There's 2 players perfectly in the view of Crashies right now. He can't shoot at both of them. There's 3 of them actually hit the side at the same time. And OpTic just falls apart. And I think what it sort of comes down to here is that Boom played it perfectly. Because what they did...
So close, over and over and
OpTic had... I've gone too far back. Look at this. Spike's going down and OpTic has 2 players on site and 2 players that can't get to site. Okay, so here we are coming into our 5th overtime split, and I think the reason why Boom won this game and OpTic lost this game can sort of be summarized into 2 moments. In that last round when Tebetol won the round, or made sure that they won the round by just learning from his mistake and waiting and holding the angle and then pushing in with his team while they regrouped. And FNS repeating the same mistake that he made a couple of rounds ago. And so we're just going to let this play out. So we've got OpTic. They're pushing up mid. They're going to go for this sort of mid-A split look. And then going to push up the other side toward B. And now this is one of the hardest pushes that you can do in Valorant, because pushing up mid to B on Breeze is really tough for a few reasons. Because one, you can get someone early into elbow, right? So that's a cheeky angle. They're going to push through elbow anyway. But then you've got this, and you can have someone peek out of nest at any point. That's super hard to clear out. But then the most dangerous reason is because there can just be someone at wood doors that can just spam you off of a Sova dart or any kind of util, or it only takes 2 steps to swing out and they can see all the way up. That's a bad drawing. All the way up. I'll have to bleep that out. God damn it. All the way up to tunnel, whatever do you call this? So it's a really risky push, and Boom's in a really good place to punish it right now. So they send the wall A. It always allows them to go back. They kill the early drone, but Victor gets tagged by it and shot through wood doors by Flipsider. And so that shuts down their whole push. They have no jet anymore, right? So they have to play this very differently. When you don't have your duelist to entry, you can't just burst onto site, break crosshair angles.
Nice kill to open it.
And so
Very nice drone usage from
all of a sudden they're stopped in their tracks. And doesn't this look really similar to a round that we had a couple of rounds ago? Finesse has crossed back to spawn from this area. Maybe up here, but you know, this general vicinity is crossed back to spawn, and all of a sudden he's playing off this trip again. We have players in B and we have a player in mid. Do you want to guess what happens in this round?
Nowhere safe for him to be able to hold. And that is going to be difficult for OpTic. In these rounds where Victor dies early, it feels like OpTic are really
Marv gets a pick,
ability, but Marv's
gets traded out, and they go, all right, let's trade. Let's rotate. Not let's trade. So Finesse swings, and because he was playing off the trip and not, he loses the fight to Flipsider.
It's the same thing again. Flipsider pushing out through cave, and FNS doesn't realize.
He crashes in a 1v4, and it's all just too much.
Right. And it crashes again in a 1v4. I'm stuck in it.
There you go. Thank you so much for watching. That has been me. I'm STACKMANDU. If you want to watch any of this kind of stuff with me live on Twitch, that'll be the link in the description. Please be sure to leave a comment and tell me what you think about OpTic's attack, and if you think they're going to go well against Loud. Actually, this video will be out after they've played Loud, because they're playing Loud in a few hours. But yeah, please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Take care. Have a good one.